Hey, okay, so this is gonna be fun because I wanted to go live on YouTube and I started a new channel, and it looks like apparently I'm not an expert because you need to have a certain amount of published content before you can go live. So we're trying this instead. So it looks like the couple of lives I did at the weekend did not show on most people's not post walls when they try to find it on my profile. So I don't know what's happening there. I'm uploading them to YouTube. I will be sharing links shortly, but I did say I was going to go live and talk about happy, healthy, and wealthy, which are, to me and most of the people who I have found being successful and fulfilled in life, they're the three pillars that are the most important. And when you strive for achieving those, you actually create a beautiful life. So, you know how people talk about focusing on what you want, what like your goal, whatever you're striving for, that is important. That is super, super important. However, when you focus on those three outcomes, because we always focus on an outcome, and if it's broader, then it's something that obviously will have multiple steps within, or multiple, like it will consist of multiple ingredients, right? So happiness, health, and wealth, easy things to describe. There's a lot coming into to create those. So I want to explore this a little bit today, and then I want to do very specific deep dive into happy, healthy, and wealthy, like separately. And so what I want to do is I want to go live on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at some point. But I don't want to, I actually want to do it randomly, right? I just want to do it when I feel it, because I have committed myself to spend the weekend with my kids, but I also know that I absolutely thrive in creating, sharing content, and sharing all the stuff that I feel I can contribute with. So what I want to make sure I do is I give you this, but also there is a platform on which to watch this if anyone's interested in watching it and maybe you can't catch me live. Actually, this is funny because I don't know if you've ever watched it. There's a series on Netflix for kids. It's called Miraculous, and it's actually quite fun. And in that series, I'll tell you about this series because it's actually interesting. It's about superheroes that have powers of different animals, and they're superheroes in Paris, and they're saving Paris. And there's this super villain who is like, the superheroes are kids and the super villain's an adult, right? That's telling, right? That's telling a lot. But also, this super villain akumatizes, which means like sends this magical evil butterfly and like touches people who have negative emotion, and then changes them into villains temporarily until they get de-akumatized by the heroes. And the fun thing is that it's actually literally what happens with us in life, right? We get we are overcome by a negative emotion, and if we don't snap out of it quickly, like an evil butterfly comes and gets us and holds us until some superhero saves us, right? But can't we instead be our own superhero and find a way? Actually, I'm going to move this somewhere so I don't have to hold it. Can't we be our own superheroes so we get to just find the most amazing state from which we create and are happy? And when you're happy, like truly happy, then you are just like, there's no stopping you. When you feel happy, when you feel that, it doesn't have to be excited all the time. You don't have to be pumped up all the time and like jumping like crazy. But if you find that, when you find that, that's amazing. So why was I going to tell you about this? There's this villain. I don't know where I was going with that. But the story in itself is a really good one. And so, when you are doing what floats your boat, what just feels great to you, this is when you are just flowing, and you're happy and excited. And so, kids have it right, because they play and everything's playful and everything's fun, and then because of that, everything comes to them. They don't have to think about, how do I make sure that I find myself in the most healthy life balance? How do I create money? How do I do whatever? You can think logically and say, yeah, because they're kids and adults take care of it. But if they were little whiners all the time and just complained all the time and so on, I mean, it probably wouldn't be as easy for them. They wouldn't have such an amazing little life as most kids do, right? So this is really important. Like we forget to follow our kids. We sometimes follow, like, get them to follow us, and actually this is the cycle that breaks them. This is the point at which that beautiful, amazing kid who has so much to teach the world becomes like an adult, like the villain, the akumatized villain. Anyway, if I remember why I started talking about miraculous, then I will more than likely finish the story. But the story in itself, talking about villains and heroes, how amazing, how telling that, you know, we get overcome by an emotion, and if it lasts too long, it just holds us, it grabs a hold of us, and actually that's not helping anyone with anything ever, right? So instead, let's find a way to be in this amazing state where everything comes easy. Everything comes easy. So today I just wanted to talk briefly about happiness, health, and wealth. And I feel they are three pillars, three absolute pillars to a fulfilled life. And I will tell you why. That's because, think about this. Everyone who has health has a million dreams. Like we all just go, I want this, I desire this, I want that, I whatever, right? But if you don't have health, if you have any, even minor health problem, like even a toothache, I'm not talking about a serious disease, but I'm talking about something minor. Like a toothache takes over your whole life. You're like, oh my God, I want this to stop, right? And suddenly you just have one dream because you're not well. So it's very powerful to be healthy, because when you're healthy, then you can think about everything else. You can take action. You can strive for more. If you're not, you just want that one single thing. You just want your health back. So that's really important. And when you have your health, when you're healthy, then you have all those millions dreams, and those dreams are amazing, and they're so much easier to fulfill when you have, guess what? When you have wealth, when you have the ability to share this wealth with others, when you have the ability to do cool stuff because it fills you with cool energy, so then you can do more. When you have more, you can come up with more, you can create new things, you can experience more things, right? And so that's really important. But if you have an amazing health, and if you have all the wealth in the world that you could dream of, but you don't have fulfillment, happiness, this joy of life, what is health and wealth? Like, what is it? Unless you have, you know, the most amazing way to feel about this, because there are people out there who have it all, what it seems to many people, many others who strive for some of these things that some others just seem to like have like this, attract like this, right? But they're not happy. And there are people who are famous, who have been known for that. There are people out in our everyday world. I'm sure you come across people who have excellent health. Excuse me. Something unsaid there. I think I'm thinking of a few people right now. Excellent health. They have financial stability and more, yet they don't feel fulfilled. Like everything is always a bother, everything's a problem. It's like, oh. So, you know, happiness and that fulfillment is really pillar number one, because without that, the other two don't really exist, which is why you need the trio, the triad, the three, right? And so what consists of, like, what do all these things consist of? Because these three are such a broad subject, you know. Happiness, oh my God, books have been written about it, like many books. Same about health, same about wealth, right? So let's pick it up again from this. So health health is widely recognized as, often people think about physical health. They think about eating habits, they think about exercising and movement. But health is so much more than that. Of course, it's about movement. Of course, because when you move, your blood flows. When your blood flows, guess what? Everything's better. Everything's growing because everything's moving, everything's growing. Everything's growing means your ideas are growing, your state of mind changes, right? That affects your mental health. So mental health is also health. That's really important, like the state you're in. And it's not necessarily, people talk about like long-term effects, like conditions of mental health and all that stuff. But actually, when you really boil it down to stuff, when people have bigger issues with health, they have a problem with their mindset that is not allowing them, their psychology is working against them, not for them, right? So that way they also attract illnesses to them, because it's not then about maybe unhealthy eating. It might just be their thoughts are creating this for them. You know, we've seen examples, we've heard about examples, like Joe Dispenza talks about that a lot. Like there are examples of people who made themselves ill, right? Also, people then create an image of themselves that is an identity that's wrong, that's not their true self. And because of that, they might say, okay, well, this is me. So I'm, I don't know, creating myself unhealthy habits of food that doesn't serve me, of activities that don't serve me. Maybe it's more sitting down, less movement, maybe it's sleeping too late, and so on. Maybe it's stressing too much. That's also health, you know, like reducing stress levels, sleeping enough, sleeping the appropriate amount of time. It's doing new things, it's being excited, it's having healthy relationships, meaning that, you know, we know what we want, what we don't want, we know who we hang out with, who we don't. That's health. Spiritual health, knowing that, you know, we are connected to something bigger than us in this world. That doesn't mean something outside of us. It's the higher power, right? People can call it God or universe or my higher self or whatever it is, but all of that. So all of these things that I just said, they all connect to create that one realm called health. And how important is it? So again, you know, what constitutes health? Well, it's easy to say. How do you stay healthy? How do you stay healthy within all those areas, right? I would love to tell you more. And that's why I want to do another 3 days, so I can pick on each of those subjects very, very, very carefully. So let's talk about wealth. So what is wealth? What consists in wealth? Oh, sorry, I'm very good with camera, obviously. I'm going to have it set up properly. I just did this very quickly today. So wealth is all about what? People think wealth and they think what? Money, right? So money is important, of course. Like I said, it gives us the freedoms. And, you know, people say, does money help? Does money solve problems? Can money buy happiness? And I always used to say, it won't buy happiness, for sure, because there's something that you have to find within. But even if you're not happy, when you're crying in a Mercedes instead of a bicycle, that's definitely an upgrade, right? So if you've decided to just be wealthy but not happy, at least you've got something else that you can look forward to. But in the seriousness, what is wealth? Wealth is the ability to do what you want, when you want, with whomever you want. That's the freedom, right? So it's following your passion. It's being able to follow your passion. It's being able to contribute to others in many ways, financially, with your time. When you have wealth and you don't have to specifically work for something, like you're not a slave to money, but you can create a way to have wealth, to have money surround you, to have cash flow come in, especially when it's passive income. You can help more people. You can do more. You can help with your time. You can help with your resources, your finances. Yeah, you can do so much more. And so if you're following your passion, if you're serving others, if you're adding value, if you're finding more ways to create income for you and for your loved ones, if you can share that with others, that is wealth. It's not just about making money. It's about, as Keith Cunningham says, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep out of what you make. But it's not that. It's about being smart in building wealth. So again, wealth is so much more than just making money. It's about contributing. It's about following your passion. It's about living joyful life. That's wealth, right? Okay, so we've talked about health. We've talked about wealth. And then the final pillar is happiness. So what is happiness? Well, what is it not? Happiness does not come from social media. So it's funny because I'm on social media talking about this, but I'm hoping to use social media so that actually it serves more people, because I've seen more and more people using it to show what it isn't, and because the world is becoming more and more and more and more extreme. So the polarities are becoming wider and wider. The range of things that happen are just wider and wider. So when you think about it, excuse me, happiness comes from inside. Happiness does not come from how many likes you've got. Happiness does not come from someone making you feel good, someone giving you a compliment, someone doing something for you. No, it doesn't. Happiness comes from inside. Happiness comes from whether I have my health or my money or my friends. I don't care. I'm happy anyway. Yes, it's nice to have them. Yes, I'm striving for that. Yes, it's exciting. But I don't care. I'm happy. I'm happy either way. Okay? So it's the opposite of, is this how I'm supposed to look according to 2021 standards on Instagram or other social media? Or is this how I make friends? Is this how I behave? I behave how I feel I want to behave. And I know that I attract the right people towards me because of that. I know that I attract everything towards me in my life because of what's happening inside of me. That's happiness. Okay? It's finding joy. It's finding the moments in the journey where you are striving for achieving certain goals in your health, in your wealth, in your other areas, and probably most likely health and wealth will be the main areas. It's being able to stop and be like, look at this beautiful place we created. Look at this path, this journey. How amazing is it, right? It's stopping, it's enjoying. It's not just going, I'll be happy when I achieve this. Nope, that's never going to happen in that case. Be happy now. Be happy with what it is now. So it's not about finding and figuring out and making up stuff. It's not about making up something that isn't reality. No, it's finding the stuff that's already amazing in your reality. And then your reality starts to show you things to be even more grateful for. So it's not like not having what you want and being happy about it. No, but it's finding what you want in what you already have, already happen. Yeah? Okay. I tend to say long sentences and they make sense in my head. So, this is really truly what happiness is, right? So how do we achieve happiness? Well, I want to talk about this more, and I want to cover this, and I'm going to have a good long think about whether to talk about happiness, health, or wealth first. But these three are such broad subjects. I probably don't want to go heavy, so I would rather start with happiness, and that's probably what I'm going to do. So I want to jump in live tomorrow, Friday, at some point, and share with you the take on happiness that I have. And it's not just me saying this is what I believe and I'm just this random person who's been doing this. It's me in my intuition, which I know everyone has within them, and sometimes people just have to find out that this is exactly where they need to be. It's like a journey home, it's finding out that what you were looking for is already there. You just forgot to turn on the light. And I've been learning this from so many amazing people, some of them very well known, some of them not at all, but thought leaders and action leaders, because to me, it's not about what you say, it's about how you live your life. So, when it comes to health, I'm not going to take advice from someone I don't want to be like, or someone who can't help me be like that. Because again, there's two things. There are people who can help other people achieve results, like, for example, football coaches. Many football coaches never play football themselves, but they can produce results for other people. Like, they can help them produce results because they have a way to do it. And then there are also many experts who you can follow and who you can, I want to say emulate, is that the right word? But you know what I mean? Like, you want to be like them because they have achieved what you want, and they can also teach that. So, you know, there, like, I've heard someone tell me about how I should eat and what habits I should have for my family, for my kids, for example, and a lot of advice. And the thing that I always go back to, and I used to say it very, very strictly to people. Now I'm a bit more mellow about this, how I express myself and my opinion. But I used to say, you know what? Do you feel happy in this area? Do you feel you've achieved what you wanted to achieve? And if the answer of those people is no, or if their answer is yes, but I'm like, well, I wouldn't want those results, then I simply go say, thank you for that. Thank you for giving me this information, but I'm going to go and, you know, and either find advice elsewhere or follow the advice that I've already got. So anyway, I trust that this was valuable for those who it was meant to be valuable for. I will be sharing the 2 lives I did a couple of, well, not a couple of weeks ago, last weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, that apparently I can see, but no one else can see. So I don't know, this is like weird. And then I'll be back on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so if you want to join me, let me know. Maybe I'll find a way to notify you. Maybe I'll just jump in randomly. I don't even know if you can set reminders or like notifications on profiles, but I'm sure you can. So I will see you soon and have an amazing start to the weekend.